Your school taught you algebra. They taught you the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. They never taught you this. 15 this or that questions using real 2026 American money statistics, and the answers might shock you. For each question, pick this or that and say it out loud before I reveal the answer. Keep your score, and when we get to the end, I want you to tell me in the comments which answer shocked you the most. Question 1. Which group is larger in America right now? Americans who have at least $1,000 in emergency savings, or Americans who have less than $400 to cover an emergency? The answer is Americans with less than $400 saved. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans could not cover an unexpected $400 expense without borrowing or selling something. Question 2. Debt and borrowing. Which is bigger, total U.S. student loan debt or total U.S. auto loan debt? Total U.S. student loan debt, $1.66 trillion. Or total U.S. auto loan debt, $1.67 trillion. The answer is, auto loan debt is slightly larger. At the end of 2025, U.S. auto loan debt hit $1.67 trillion versus $1.66 trillion in student loans. They are virtually identical and both at record highs. Question 3. Financial literacy. What percentage of American adults cannot pass a basic financial literacy test? 27%, about 1 in 4, or 57%, more than 1 in 2. The answer is 57%. More than half of American adults fail a basic financial literacy test. Only 49% of basic personal finance questions are answered correctly on average by US adults. Question 4. Wealth and net worth. In 2025, Americans believed it took how much in net worth to be considered wealthy? $1 million net worth or $2.3 million net worth? The answer is, Americans said it takes an average of $2.3 million in net worth to be considered wealthy, according to Charles Schwab's 2025 Modern Wealth Survey. Question 5. Millionaires and building wealth. What percentage of American millionaires inherited their wealth? About 70% inherited it or about 20% inherited it. The answer is, only about 20 to 21% of American millionaires inherited their wealth. The remaining 79 to 80% are first-generation millionaires who built it themselves. Question 6. Budgeting and spending habits. Which group is bigger in America? Americans who actively use a budget to track spending or Americans who do not use a budget at all? The answer is, 40% of Americans do not use a budget to track their expenses at all, and 33% have no financial plan of any kind. Question 7. Credit and debt. Heading into 2026, which group was larger? Americans with more emergency savings than credit card debt or Americans with more credit card debt than emergency savings? The answer is, 29% of Americans headed into 2026 with more credit card debt than emergency savings. The personal saving rate also dropped 29% from March 2025 to March 2026. Question 8. Income and earnings. In 2025, what was the median weekly earnings of a full-time American worker? About $850 per week, $44,200 per year, or about $1,204 per week, $62,600 per year. The answer is, the median weekly earnings of full-time American workers reached $1,204 in 2025, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, roughly $62,600 per year before taxes. Halfway there, if any of these surprised you, it only gets more eye-opening from here. Stay locked in. The next 7 facts hit even harder. Fire! Question 9. Savings rate. In January 2026, what percentage of their income did Americans save on average? About 4.5% of income or about 15% of income? The answer is, Americans saved only 4.5% of their income in January 2026, well below the 15 to 20% that most financial planners recommend for a secure retirement. Question 10. Financial planning. What percentage of US households had a documented long-term financial plan in 2025? About 65% had a plan, or only about 31% had a plan. The answer is, only 31% of US households had a documented long-term financial plan in 2025. 43% of those without a plan said the reason was simply lack of money. Question 11. Bankruptcy and financial stress. How many Americans filed for personal bankruptcy in 2025? About 200,000, a manageable number. OR, about 544,000, the highest since 2019. The answer is, 544,000 Americans filed for personal bankruptcy in 2025, a spike of 11% from 2024, and the highest level since 2019. Filings were up in 47 out of 50 states. Question 12. Money in relationships. What percentage of Americans have lied to a partner about money? About 10%. Financial honesty is pretty common. OR, about 31%, nearly 1 in 3. The answer is, 31% of Americans have committed financial infidelity, lying to a partner about money. This includes hiding purchases, secret accounts, and undisclosed debt. Question 13. Generational wealth. Which generation is most likely to feel they are doing better financially than their parents at the same age? Gen X, born 1965 to 1980, or Gen Z, born 1997 to 2012. The answer is, Gen Z leads with 62% saying they are doing better financially than their parents were of the same age. Gen X is the least likely at only 43%. Question 14. Wealth inequality. The top 1% of Americans holds more wealth than which group combined? The bottom 50% of Americans. OR, the bottom 80% of Americans. The answer is, the top 1% of Americans holds more wealth than the bottom 80% combined. The top 10% holds approximately 67% of all US wealth. Question 15. Final question. The big picture. According to 2026 data, what percentage of American workers say they are very satisfied with the current financial situation? About 38%, over a third, feel financially secure, or only 17%, fewer than 1 in 5. The answer is, only 17% of American workers describe themselves as very satisfied with their financial situation. 78% were never taught money management in school, and the system has never prioritized financial literacy for ordinary people. That is the real picture of money in America in 2026. Not the stock market highs. Not the billionaire net worths. The actual numbers for actual people. If these stats surprised you, share this video with someone who needs to see it. Seriously, financial illiteracy is expensive, and if you want more of this content that cuts through the noise and shows you what is actually happening with money, subscribe. New video every week. Drop in the comments which answer surprised you the most. I read every single one. See you in next videos.